Manchester United 1, Aston Villa 0. Quite simply put, we are through to the next round of the FA Cup. And really, that's all that matters. We're joined by Freddie Quinn of Freddie Quinn Comedy on YouTube. How you doing, Freddie?
YouTube.com/Freddie Quinn Comedy.
Yeah.
Plug.
Get it stuck in. And
great, mate. It was one of the best performances I think I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Echoes of Munich. You know, it's just.
Did you fall asleep after 7 minutes in that? Is that what happened?
Well, what actually happened, funnily enough, is that I saw the McTominay goal, and then I went out for 86 minutes, and I've literally just come back in. And I can only assume that United.
Amazing.
I didn't rest on the laurels or anything like that.
No.
And Alex, I've got you in because I want to start with you.
You do.
You weren't on the
really.
watch along.
I wasn't.
We on the watch along. Sometimes you can kind of get clouded by the fact that you're there, you're chatting, you're talking for 2-3 hours. We were being told we're being too negative watching that game.
No, it was terrible. It was terrible. Again, but at the same time, like the title says, United scraped through. We've scraped through. We've got the result, and there's that little bit of always you need that little bit of quality. And today it came from Fred and McTominay, which is madness.
Combining.
And we did. I think in the first half we created a lot of chances. I think the game was very open. They played well, but I think so did we. I think there was times when we kind of strung a few things together, and I think with the right decision it might have gone that way. But I just think there's something going on in their head at the minute where confidence is shot to bits completely. It's been that since probably like the Liverpool game, maybe even before that. Confidence is gone completely. There's no, okay, we've scored a goal, let's kick on from that. Even the Burnley game the other week where we went 3-0 up and then we switch off for 30 seconds, they score, and instead of it being, all right, it's only a goal, it's only Burnley, we're still 3-1 up, let's just kick on, everyone's gone, they're only 2 goals behind us now, oh my God, and panic again, and everyone just kind of. Because the first 5 minutes or so, yes, we got a goal that was a cross and things like that. We're playing some good football.
Yeah.
Started to play a few good passes around. Rashford looked... I texted my mate saying, I put Rashford to score today. I fancy him to do it. And he went, no, he looks a bit sharper today. And then once the goal went in, 10 minutes in, he lost that. He lost that bit of confidence or whatever. Kind of just went... everyone stepped back. Everyone sat back. And it was... I think you guys said it on the watch one towards the end. We were waiting for a Villa goal. It was waiting for them to get one. They got the disallowed one. It's just poor, and I think it's gone past the quality thing of maybe he's not good enough. He's not good enough. It's a pure confidence thing where I think as soon as anything shaky happens in a game, including us scoring a goal, we just go to bits.
Yeah, that was weird, wasn't it? How we started pretty sharply first 5 minutes. I know that's a stupid, 5 minutes. Yeah. What can you say? But after we scored, United just became nervous, stagnant, lazy, boring. Like everything, all the negative things you could have thrown at them in the last 2 months shone for the rest of the half.
I mean, I said it in the watch along as well, didn't I? That at times that felt like a League One team that had gone 1-0 up against a top 6 Premier League side that was like, oh shit. We might actually win this, and they got really tired and lethargic, and you always felt, well, the other team are going to creep into this. I don't want to be. I mean, it was really negative in the watch along, but at the end of the day, we won the game, and it doesn't matter how well you play in the FA Cup. If you don't win, you ain't going through. That's sort of the magic of the cup.
Villa can say what they want. They aren't playing against Borough.
We got the most important thing out of that game, which was the result. However, if you look at the 2 dressing rooms, if you had a camera right now in both the dressing rooms and you had a camera in United's and a camera in Villa's, Villa would all be going round to each other and going, Jesus, we nearly won that. How did we not win that? We had that goal disallowed for someone's
2 goals disallowed.
2 goals disallowed. God, 2 goals disallowed. And we had Ollie Watkins hitting the post. How did we not come away winning that game? Whereas right now, in the United dressing room, Rashford and Greenwood are going to be fighting each other. And that's the difference.
Yeah, it's hard to put it on anything other than, like you said, the confidence thing, but it does seem to be more than that. There does seem to be problems where you look at people and going, Are you happy to be playing with him? Are you bothered? Why don't you ever overlap? Why aren't you sprinting? Why aren't you running? There's serious mentality problems at the moment.
It's a mentality problem.
It's coming from players that you would never expect. That's the weird thing.
Well, this is it as well, because if you look at that team, we've even brought players. Bruno has got a real winner's mentality. You've got Cristiano Ronaldo, who for the last 2 decades has probably been the football player with the elite mentality.
He's like the Michael Jordan of football, isn't he?
You've got Raphael Varane, who has won everything there is to win at club level and international level, and you don't do that without having a certain mentality, and you're built a certain way. And yet, for some reason, there is a poison spreading through the dressing room, and it is just destroying everything.
I think it's just that. I think that the fact that you brought these players in, I think they were comfortable the last couple of years, where under Ollie, it's been this mixed bag of all. And I think Ollie's got things right and said, look, it's going well. We're progressing. We're moving forward. And then this summer has been, well, right, we've got Raphael Varane, Cristiano Ronaldo coming to the squad, and Jadon Sancho. And I think Ronaldo and Varane have come in and gone, right, lads, this has to be better. We have to be better than we are. And I think a few have gone, oh, what do you mean? Have we got to do more? Have we got to do all this? And when things are going bad, it's not this. They kind of sink in instead of stepping up. And it's a bit weird because, I've said, for the last couple of seasons, I think you mentioned it as well in the watch-along, that didn't mind conceding first because there's always that chance. It felt like we were always going to hit a goal and always come back into it. But that's all seemed to have gone away, and it's all gone back to this pointing at other people. It's your fault. You should be doing this. He needs to be stepping up. He needs to be working harder. And it seems like when you've had players come in the squad that have gone, look, we need to be better, everyone's gone, oh, really?
Well, that seems like an awful lot of hard work.
I know,
the thing for me that epitomised that, and I'm sure everyone will be talking about it, is the Marcus Rashford moment.
Yeah.
I don't know if it stood out to everyone else, but I think we all kind of couldn't believe what we were seeing.
Yeah, I've got that thing.
Where Greenwood has a shot from the right-hand side, probably should have squared it to Marcus Rashford, or definitely should have, but didn't. And then Martinez sort of spills the ball, goes to block it, spills the ball, and instead of going to challenge Martinez for the ball, he just walks and puts his hands in the air.
Let's compare side by side 2 strikers today, Ollie Watkins and Marcus Rashford. Now, Ollie Watkins created Villa's best chance by pressing and hounding down Victor Lindelof. He must have been 20 yards away, and he sprinted because he thought there's a 1% chance that he'll miscontrol that ball and I might get something, and he nearly scored from it. Compare that to Marcus Rashford, who was 3 yards away and who was too busy having a little hissy fit because Greenwood didn't square it to him. And all right, Greenwood should have squared the ball to him. He made the wrong decision. But at the end of the day, that doesn't excuse you from just stopping trying and downing your tools. And if you even think about doing that as a United player, you do not deserve any place in the team.
Do you know what's weird, though? It's the opposite of what we've been the last couple of seasons. For as much as you can question, we've had Dan James playing who's not good enough. We've had Freddie McTominay play all these games together. They might not be good enough. You've question marks over the fullbacks and Maguire and Lindelof and all these different things, and even the goalkeeper and stuff. The one thing is, they worked pretty hard. You've always felt that they're not going to let you down in terms of that. They're always going to run for you. They're going to try. Yeah. They might be poor. They might give the ball away, but they'll try. And if you play a game against City, you're going to get a work rate out of them. That seems to be a weird switch. And this isn't just because a new manager's come in or a new player. Why have the players
this
all of a sudden...
This started under Ollie, didn't it? That's the thing. It's almost as though the pressure to actually win something that started this season made the team implode. And forced a lot of people's characters inward rather than let's go and do this. It was I'm not sure I'm able to do this.
We said it at the beginning of the game. We said Villa will 100% outwork us, and we talked about that picture of Chelsea versus Liverpool where all the players are hands on their knees, gasping for air, apart from N'Golo Kante, and it's like, Kante's built different or whatever. And I said, when was the last time you saw a United team at full time and they're all gasping for air? Because it certainly wasn't today.
Do you know, the last time it probably was the Arsenal game a couple of weeks ago, which is weird because that was, again, this is the odd thing that's kind of happened. The Ollie thing happened overdone. Those few games under Carrick, it seemed like he figured something out, and it was just back to, all right, we're going to sit back a bit, but we're going to work hard and we're going to do this. And you've got Tellez fist pumping tackles and things like that, and you're like, all right, going to get a new manager comes in that wants more of this. we'll be all right here. But and then the Palace game, we had it's not the thing is it's not like it's been you've not seen any of this, but you had 30 minutes from the Palace, which is only 30 minutes, but there was something there.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I don't know what it was because we had good results after that. It seems like they've come back in and gone, do you know what?
Can't be arsed with this. We've just got a few super chats, so let me get into some of these. Abhinav Verma says, how are the players so unfit and so tactically naive? I don't know if they are unfit or unwilling. It's not necessarily unfit. Aquila says, what's with all the whinging? We know there are issues. Let's just enjoy the win. Obviously, we will enjoy the win. We will be happy when we're playing Middlesbrough in the 4th round. But when you're reviewing and looking at the game we've just had, it's hard to be incredibly positive when there were so many things that are continuations of problems we've seen over the last few months. Naresh says we still have reasons to celebrate, and we will get some of those as well. I don't want it to just be all negative stuff. Clean sheet, FA Cup progress, Gerrard's face at the end of the game, and a glimpse of Alanga's promise. Not a good performance, but a win, absolutely. And all of those things you said there are absolutely true, by the way.
It's a fine balance, isn't it? Because on the one hand, you've got to say, well, we came away with the win, and like we said at the beginning of this review, that's all that matters at the end of the day is the win.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you'd be deluded if you just focused on the win after that game. Imagine if we didn't mention it. Everybody in the comments would go, what are you guys talking about?
Yeah. Abdullah says, the players are bad tactically and technically. We're slow to move, need 2 touches to control the ball. We get turned and we can't make a simple pass. Yeah, it's very odd. It's very odd because the weird thing is a lot of these players weren't playing like this 6 months ago. That's the thing. I mean, even Rashford, when he was injured and from January to the end of the year last year, he wasn't this bad. No. This is the worst he's ever been for Manchester United. You look at Maguire, the same thing. Shaw, the same thing. Bruno, the same thing. I don't think he's quite as bad in that. It would be unfair to put him on the level of, Wan-Bissaka and Shaw and Maguire and Rashford this season. But so many players have regressed from last year. I can't quite put my finger on it.
Do you think there's something, again, giving excuses, do you think there's something in the international football thing? Because I think that you looked at after the World Cup, the drop-off of a lot of England players. You saw...
In 2018?
2018, you saw... That's when Maguire had his first little blip for United. He didn't look great. You then had... John Stones didn't play very well for a long time. Trippier fell off the face of the earth and ended up being out of the Tottenham team. Yeah. All these players that played for England all the way up until then... Lingard, Sterling...
Yeah.
Even Harry Kane, I think, took a really slow start for that season. There was a nosedive. I mean, look at this season. How many of those England players that did well? Sterling had a shocking start to the season. He's only just coming back to it. Maguire's been poor.
Stones is out the team.
Stones has been injured. You look at who else you got there. Reece James is probably your best player, but he didn't play too much. Declan Rice is probably your best player that's done through it. Calvin Phillips, his legs are gone. He's not played at all. There's maybe something in that, but you can't give these guys excuses because look, number one, they're not all.
You're just
England,
sort of clutching for anything, aren't you?
They're not all England internationals to see this. That's true. But it's just look, the positives today. We got a good goal. It's always great when McTominay and Fred's involved and stuff because I know it pisses loads of people off when they do well.
You don't know how to react, do you? It's like,
what do you mean? But then Gerrard's, isn't it? Because how bad we were today, isn't it? Just a little bit better. To see Gerrard's face.
Let's focus on Gerrard.
Horrible, miserable. And he might be,
because they'll think they should have won that, which is even better. And he'll be even sweeter.
We were the better team. Well, I don't really care.
Yeah, well, you weren't because you lost.
You weren't because you lost. That's all that matters.
That's all that matters. Ross Murphy says, what has gone on with Marcus Rashford? We're so excited to see him come back from injury. He was looking better, and then back worse now that he's fully fit. Yeah, I don't know. We spoke about Rashford, haven't we? I don't want to dig
too much. Do you know what I would say if I'm being really kind, right? Is that the 4-2-2-2 system doesn't seem to suit anybody because it relies really heavily on our fullbacks, who are probably the weakest part of the team. It also requires your number sixes, your McFred, to be able to progress the ball, which they cannot do. It has 2 number 10s, which doesn't seem to get the best out of Bruno Fernandes. He doesn't seem to really know what spaces to occupy.
And neither with Marcus.
And it requires 2 number 9s as well. And Marcus Rashford isn't really a number 9. He's more of a winger.
And he's not a number 10 either.
He's not a number 10 either. So what do you...
Maybe it is partly a system.
So I think part of it is a case of fitting square pegs in round holes. Maybe they're still taking time to adjust to the system that the manager wants them to play. That's
positivity.
That's the best that I could do.
Yeah. Tommy with the super chat. You boys said something before the game about Fred getting a yellow card, and I went and stuck a £5 on it, giving you your share up the paddock. Thank you very much. Thank you. I wasn't expecting a share.
Was well off.
But thank you. What was your bet?
I had all sorts on there.
Was it?
The only thing that I had like 4 million corners because United concede the most amount of corners than any team I've ever seen. So always
4 million corners.
I had 9.5 over
200,000 a minute.
I had them. I had Rashford to score a goal because you said it. I thought he might have scored today. He didn't.
Yeah, I was really positive.
And then I think I had John McGinn to get butts because I think he just looked like he was always going to get. And he was the one that didn't, so it didn't go very well.
It didn't go very well, unfortunately. Right, that's going to be all from us. Manchester United have won. We're through to the next round. Gerrard's pissed off.
Paddy McNair's back at United.
It doesn't matter whether we were the worst team or the best team. We were the best team at scoring goals. We're through to the next round. Thank you, Freddie, for joining us.
Thank you.
Make sure you check out youtube.com/Freddie Quinn
and
Comedy.
Pigotted Pod as well.
And the Pigotted podcast as well, of course. Thank you, Alex, for coming on. Thank you to everyone at home for watching. We're through, and that's all that matters. We'll see you in a bit.